Hey there! Welcome back to Wounds and Wisdom, a secret space for truth, tenderness, soulful growth, and remembering who you truly are. Today, we continue Season 3, The Becoming. And this episode is for the part of you that has always loved deeply, sometimes too deeply. For the part of you who learned to shift, soften, disappear, or even overgive just to keep the connection alive. This episode is for the version of you who is learning to love again, but this time with a regulated nervous system, not a wounded one. Because healing doesn't just change how you feel. Healing changes how you love. It changes what you tolerate. It changes the kind of relationships your body will accept. This is the episode where we explore how to be connected without collapsing. How to love generously without losing ourselves. How to let someone in without abandoning our needs. This is the becoming of your relational self. Losing yourself in love doesn't come from weakness. It comes from adaptation. If you grow up with inconsistent affection, emotionally unavailable caregivers, caretaking roles, conflict avoidance, withdrawing parents, enmeshment, abandonment, or unpredictable emotional climates. The love becomes something that you had to manage, not receive. Attachment research called these role reversal or parentification. And this is when a child becomes responsible for the emotional stability of others. So our nervous system learned early on that we must earn connection. We must perform safely for everyone. We must not upset anyone. That our needs disrupt the relationship. That love disappears when we are being too honest. So you survive connection by shrinking your needs, hyper attuning to others, scanning for emotional shift, fawning, overgiving, anticipating moods, reading the room constantly, staying agreeable, rescuing, avoiding conflict, becoming the peacekeeper, becoming the fixer, becoming the easy one. And all of this is not because this is who you or I am. This is all because this is what kept us safe. So these patterns form what attachment theorists call internal working models. These are the blueprints the body used to determine how safe love is. How close can I get? How much you really are allowed to need? What connection requires from you? And these blueprints are the ones that follow you into adulthood. So relationships start looking like you fall for the potential instead of the presence. You confuse intensity with intimacy. You merge way too fast. You silence your truth to keep peace. You forgive too much. You hold space for others, but not for yourself. You become the emotional caretaker. And at the end, you abandon yourself in the name of loyalty. But this is the truth that the body already knows. Self-abandonment was once your attachment strategy. It was not a personality trait. It was survival. It was what kept you safe. And in season 3, we honor the shift from self-abandonment to self-honoring. Because love without self does not heal. Love with self does. Healing changes how your body responds to love. When your nervous system is dysregulated, it interprets connection through threat. Fight, you will go into defensiveness, emotional explosion, and that pull-push dynamics. Flight, you go into avoidance. You go into distancing yourself. You go into shutting people out. Freeze, you shut down. Dissociating, you start becoming numb. Fawn, you start people pleasing, overgiving, losing yourself. And the reality is, none of these are flaws. Those are survival patterns rooted in how your body learned to stay safe. Polyvagal theory teach us that we love from the state that we are in. So in the survival state, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, connection will feel dangerous. Now in regulated states, connections feel possible. And secure connection is not just a mindset that you learn. It is a nervous system state you experience. And it feels something like relaxed shoulders, steady breath, openness without urgency, connection without collapse, honesty without fear, boundaries without guilt, presence without performance, care without losing yourself, space for two truths, reciprocity instead of rescue. This is co-regulation. When two bodies help each other to stay safe instead of activating each other's wounds. Attachment research shows that secure relationships include autonomy and connection, emotional consistency, boundaries seen as clarity, not rejection, needs honored without shame, repair instead of punishment, interdependence and not enmeshment. Security is not the same as intensity. Security is steadiness. And as your nervous system heals, our taste in relationships transforms. We stop craving the chaos, the inconsistency, that hot and cold love, that emotional roller coasters, that relationship that drain us, those partners that we need to fix. So our body stop mistaking anxiety for chemistry. It stopped confusing scarcity for passion. Instead, you're gonna start desiring mutuality, emotional maturity, reciprocity, honesty, stable passion, slower pacing, kindness. Partners who know how to self-regulate. Connections that feel like home. Healing doesn't just make you love better. Healing makes you choose better. There is a moment in healing that is soft, subtle, but yet powerful. And it's when we realize that we can love without surrendering ourselves. So our body begins to show that shift. We can express our needs without apologizing. You can simply say no without shaking. You take your time before committing. You stop rescuing people from themselves. You hold your boundaries with steadiness and not fear. You stay rooted even when someone else is dysregulated. And you listen to your body when it whispers, "This person cannot meet me." You choose connection that expands your life instead of consuming it. Somatically, secure love feels like breath that deepens instead of collapses. Shoulders that stay open instead of curling inward. A chest that feels spacious, not tight. A nervous system that doesn't brace for impact. Choosing slowly instead of merging instantly. Trusting your inner signals rather than overriding them. This is interdependence, the sacred middle space between isolation and enmeshment. It sounds like I can hold myself and hold you. I can love you without losing me. I can care without collapsing. I can stay open without being swallowed. I can be close without being erased. And then love becomes something you co-create, not something you sacrifice yourself for. Your healed self stop chasing intensity and start craving resonance. Not the person who activates your wounds, but the person who actually respects your nervous system. Not the love that drains you, but the love that steadies you. Not the connection that needs fixing, but that connection where both of you can breathe. And this is what love it should look like when our nervous system is finally safe. It should be quiet. Should be steady. Should be deep. Reciprocal. Honest. Whole. Sit comfortably. Place one hand on your chest, the other one on your belly. Take a slow inhale and even a slower exhale. Imagine someone you care about. Notice your body. Does your breathing tighten? Does your shoulder rise? Does your chest collapse? Do you feel pressure to perform? Do you feel guilt or obligation? Do you feel like you need to fix something? These sensations signal self-abandonment. Now, let's inhale again. And let's exhale slowly. And imagine a connection where you feel safe, seen, respected, unrushed, unjudged. Notice how your body responds. This is your relational compass. Now repeat this inwardly. I can love without losing myself. My needs are worthy of protection. My boundaries honor the connection. I deserve relationships that feel safe in my body. I stay with myself even when I love deeply. Let your system receive that. If you have time, reflect on the following this week. Where did I first learn to disappear in relationships? What parts of me shrink when I care about someone? What signals does my body gives me when a connection is unsafe? What version of me emerge in relationships that honors my boundaries? What does love feels like when I stay connected to myself? Let these answers reveal your relational truth. You can repeat with me, or you can just let this land on your soul. I am safe to love without disappearing. My relationships do not require my self abandonment. I deserve reciprocity, not rescue. I honor myself even when I love deeply. My boundaries protect my heart, not my distance. I choose connections that supports my nervous system. I can love without losing myself. Let this settle like truth in the body. Thank you for being here with us today. This is Wounds and Wisdom, where your pain isn't shameful, it's sacred. Where your healing isn't linear, it's luminous. If this episode helped you notice your own becoming, share it with someone who may need this reminder. And if you feel called, please subscribe to keep growing with us. And remember, you are not healing or becoming alone. We are doing this together. Until next time, be gentle with your soul.